Hello, fellow warriors. Sarah Condon here, just checking in and getting real about what it's like to be a zebra and to wear your stripes. When we normally wear our stripes, we're shunned on. There's so many different um, judgments and just hard things where it's just uncomfortable. And so we often don't do it and we just hide who we really are. But I'm here to kind of break that barrier so we can start wearing our stripes as we should, boldly, proudly, with full, genuine sincerity. But my whole mission to this is no matter whether you're a zebra or just someone struggling with just anything going on, your struggle is important to who you are, but it's not all of who you are. So, my mission is to get the word out that no matter what we're struggling with, it shouldn't defeat or define who you are, let alone who you're meant to be, who you're going to become. You are stronger than your struggle, and you can do this. It won't be easy. And there's going to be some days that are very hard, others maybe not so bad. But you have to weather the storm and you have to get through it. And you can because I believe in you. So, as I was saying, when you wear your stripes, you're often judged. So, let's break down what a zebra is. When doctors are in school or practitioners are in school learning how to become a doctor or a provider of any kind, whether it's nurse practitioner or anything like that, I don't break down any of judgments. I think they're all equally important. But unfortunately, they're taught when you hear hooves beat, think horses, not zebras. And that quote, unfortunately, leaves all us rare chronic people out in the dark because a lot of doctors don't think outside the box. They just think of horses, which are the common diagnosis, the colds, the basic stuff. Unfortunately, with a whole slew of what I have going on, is zebras. My daughters are also zebras, and I know many other people that are zebras. But there are still so many struggles that doesn't mean you're a zebra, but it's an analogy I use. So whether you have a rare issue or not, I embrace you all into our zebra family. So with that said, one of the main things that is so discouraging to wearing your stripes boldly, proudly, is the judgments that come with it. Like, let's be real for a second. It can be really discouraging to sit here and even talk about why you're having a rough day because of the judgments of many people that come in. And I don't want to sit here and say that many people are wrong because I truly believe that ignorance is bliss. If they don't know what's going on, how are they supposed to truly understand? And I don't mean that to brush off of what they're doing because some people are just being really rude and we don't need that in our life. We need to push that aside and we need to focus on educating, which we'll get into a later session on. But right now, I just want to focus on the judgments. And just because they don't know doesn't mean your struggle isn't any less real. Like you're going through a very hard time, and I'm sorry, but I truly believe in my heart that you will come out stronger and you are meant for something more for what you're going through. Some of the judgments that really got me down are the fact that I was being lazy. When I would have a flare up, commonly, you're just lazy. You just want to lay down. You just don't want to do anything. Or then it would come into when I would need to ask people for help, which ended up making me not want to ask for help, is I was get told I was too needy. If I needed to get something because I was being lazy, I couldn't get up off my butt, basically, off the couch, off the bed, chair, wherever I was, because sometimes I just couldn't walk. It just wasn't in the cards for that day. And a lot of times I was like, I mean, I can think back to high school days when some of my struggles started. I was told that I was exaggerating or I was over dramatic and just dramatizing what was going on. But nobody really knew what was going on. And part of that was my fault because I didn't always share what truly was going on because it's hard to know who genuinely cares. And I'm here to tell you, I care. So if you're going through something and you need a cheerleader or a coach along the way, message in the comments. I want to hear from you. Sincerely, I do. Another hard thing is I was constantly accused of being a liar or that I was faking or that I did this to myself. Like Not really sure how I can alter my genetics by myself, but sure. So let's just go with that, right? If I wanted attention, because let's be real, that is one of the most common. You're just doing this for attention. Okay, let's stop for a minute. Do you think I really want to do the treatments I have to do multiple times a day, multiple times a week, multiple times a month, whichever treatment I'm talking about? Because I have the daily, I have the weekly, and I have the monthly. So there's plenty that I would much rather not do. But I'm not sitting here doing this just for fun or just for attention, because the negative attention that I'm getting from it isn't satisfying my soul. It doesn't make me feel uplifted and empowered. And I'm here to crush that because I am so sick of people putting us down just because we have something that we want the world to know to help us not feel alone. It's kind of bizarre that we have to feel opposite. It's just, it doesn't make sense to me. The other thing that I get that was really discouraging is the fact that I'm a hypochondriac. I'm just making stuff up. Okay, so one of the things I deal with is an immune deficiency. I know a lot of people are kind of learning about the immune compromised world a lot more, which is awesome because awareness, I think, helps so many levels of defeating that loneliness. But if I'm going to go to a doctor, I need that doctor to hear me. I'm not just making symptoms up or anything like that. I don't want to add anything more on my plate. I just am that person that needs to know an answer of why. If there's an answer out there, I want to know why, because it might help my treatment and it might help me help somebody else, which is what I get to do now. And that is my dream. There's no reason we need to feel alone. None. It's just dumb to me. Because if we can support one another, we can link arms and we can be there cheerleading each other on no matter what struggle we're facing, because no struggle is any better or any worse than any others. Yeah, some may be harder, but each struggle has its own path. And I don't think comparing is good in any way, let alone comparing who's worse or better or whatever on a struggle, because each one sucked just the same. So we just kind of have to go with that. But when I'm going to a doctor, I want to be heard. I'm not making stuff up, nor am I just self-Googling myself. Side note, please don't do, because a lot of times you're not going to like the answer. And it's not even really the honest answer half the time. But the thing is we need to just crush these judgments. I mean, it's not fair to be accused of something that's so far from the truth. We just want to be heard. We want to be seen. We want to be authentic. And it's so hard when we're just basically pushed under a rock to sit here and make ourselves seem okay and put on this facade, this mask that's not who we are. Why should we have to hide ourselves? Another thing that I'd like to help kind of use as a strategy, and this is one I'm recently learning myself, but I find it super helpful. I learned this from Jenna Kutcher, and she says that we need to eliminate the just. I'm just a mom. I'm just someone with a disability. Let's call baloney on that right now. You are so much more than a diagnosis. You are so much more than a title at your job. You are killing it at life. You are doing the best you can with a really hard time in front of you. Whether it's something that's haunting you from the past, something that's creating you a blockage for the future, you're still struggling. And that's not fair to limit who you are. You can fly like an eagle and soar to your most wonderful dreams. So let's just eliminate the just and just say who we are. Because I am a mom. I am a wife. I am a person that's battling disability for about 13 going on 14 years now. And I am ready to take that leap to let others not struggle like I am. So eliminate the just. You're so much more than that. Something I have had a long time figuring out, but it's been so empowering in the past 3 years that I've really put in a lot of hard work. And I got comfortable in the uncomfortable. And finding that comfort in some really hard, scary just times you don't want to be in is sometimes the hardest time to get comfortable, right? So a lot of times when I was saying how we have to hide who we are in the judgments, that can get really lonely, like really lonely. Do you really want to sit here and have to explain over and over and get told what's wrong with you and why you're doing this or whatever judgment comes your way? No. So you just stop talking about it. And then does that help you progress through your struggle anymore? No, it just makes it worse. So why add that extra stress? So let's get comfortable. There are others like myself that want to help you. There are support groups out there for you that nowadays you can seriously just, even on your roughest day where you can't get out of bed, pick up your phone, go online. There's support groups everywhere. You don't actually have to physically go sit in a circle and say, hi, my name is so and so, and I deal with this. Because that's pretty uncomfortable, in my opinion, from someone who deals with anxiety and not wanting to fully be honest about what I'm dealing with right away. So now there's so many ways that we can adapt to focusing on who we are. Because seriously, you are so much more than your disability, your diagnosis, your struggle. You are an amazing person and you're meant for goodness. I just know it. So maybe on your hard days, one of the first things you can do is start learning what you like, what you don't like, some of your interests, your passions. Because when you start to focus on you and push that disability, that struggle, just push it aside. Because let's be real, it's not going away. Okay? I'm not going to sugarcoat this. It's not going away. But it doesn't have to be all of who you are. You are so much more than that. That's a part of your book. Yeah, it's a chapter. It's a story. It's not the entire book or saga, whatever you want to refer to it as. You're so much more. So learn about you. What makes you smile? What brings you joy? What makes you sad and feel uncomfortable? And how to bring joy to that uncomfortableness. There's so much things of getting comfortable. So a fun thing about me is I love the word sparkletastic. I actually, fun fact, like to make up words and like to combine them because that's just me and it makes me quirky and I love that and I embrace it. But you'll often see me, whether it's with earrings, a necklace, bracelet, whatever, even my Fitbit watch, I have to have bling on my band. But that's me. I love sparkle. Sparkle can make me so happy. So dress the part you want to be. There's oftentimes I will have my most sparkly jewelry on and I'll be wearing a t-shirt and sweatpants and I will be so happy. Fun fact, my favorite sweatpants actually have a little bit of bling on the drawstring, the drawstring waistband. So you do you. Find what makes you happy, what brings you joy, and bring an ounce of that every day into your day. So that way, no matter what is going on, you have that support. You're ready to go because you need to feel comfortable in the uncomfortable because our stuff isn't going away. So dress the part and focus on you. You are so much more than whatever you're going through. I had made a comment about finding the joy in the journey in my last segment. And that quote by Thomas S. Monson is super empowering to me. It is one of my favorite, I have a lot of favorite quotes, but that's one of my top ones because no matter what you're doing, whether you're on the road, we drove down about 2 hours away to go to a lot of our doctor appointments, whether for me or for our children. And one of the most common things was finding different things on the road of, oh, wow, look at the sunset or the skyline, or whether it's like some cool landmark or something like that. And it just brought an ounce of joy and not such pain. Because let's be real, when you're going to a doctor's appointment or you're having to do a treatment or you're going through a really hard time and having to go drive to someone's house that you really don't want to have that hard conversation with, you have to find something that's joyous in that journey, in that moment. So every day, wake up with an attitude of gratitude. Tony Robbins says that. And I fully, fully believe that every day, if you wake up and you can be grateful for the fact that you were able to open your eyes, you can be grateful for the fact that you were able to take a breath, a nice, deep breath. Because let's be real, not everyone gets another chance at being better than they were yesterday. Wouldn't you rather be a better version of yourself more than what your struggle is? Because I think you're stronger than your struggle. I know you're stronger than your struggle. So a friend had introduced a song that I hadn't heard about. And it's a band called AJR. And they have this song called Break My Face. And at first it wasn't something that I was like, how is this a message? But I really encourage people to listen to things, whether it's a song, a poem, a story, to think of it with an open mind. Because I really actually enjoy the song now. And Break My Face is about the fact that, yeah, you may slip up, you may break your face, you have a face. Some people aren't blessed with any of that. But the other thing is, it's just a face, okay? You are so much more than that. Your struggle is just a struggle. Okay, I get the oxymoron here. I'm using the word just. Like, I'll call a spade a spade. I'm still using it. But I'm learning. And I think it's really important that we understand that even though we may get dealt really hard cards, we're still dealt something. And I fully believe, whether it's a religion in God or a universe or a higher power, whatever you believe, and if you don't, cool. But I do believe that there is something meant for us. There's a reason why we're going through it. And I understand a lot of people can't really see a reasoning from pain. And it took me a long time to be able to see it. And there was a lot of pity parties and a lot of woe is me. But my mindset is so much better now that I feel like I am more than qualified to be able to share this with you guys and help you along the way, because I do think there's a reason. My struggle has helped me so that way I can be there for you. It sounds weird and it's really hard to find in the moment, but when you're in the pain, ask yourself, what is this teaching me? And have that attitude of gratitude of, at least I have something. Someone believes in me that I can handle this struggle. I am stronger than my struggle. It's so hard to sit here and be who we are and have to be okay with it. So I'm going to ask you to do something a little bit harder than that. Because being okay with it, to me, is just kind of like skating by. And I don't want to skate by in life. I want to thrive. I want to fly. I just want to go. So, my fellow warriors, I'm going to ask you to be proud of who you are. Every morning, Mel Robbins talks about high-fiving yourself in the mirror. I'll be real. It was really cheesy and really hard at first. Now, as crazy as it sounds, I have full-on conversations with myself in the mirror. And I affirm myself that I'm proud of who I am. I'm strong. I am worthy. I am capable. And I am enough, just as I am. Because I am me, and you are you. And I don't want to change that. There's no photo editing. There's no cropping. Just be you. Own it. Embrace it. Wear your stripes. Whether you're a zebra with a rare issue or you're surviving a struggle that people don't really understand, wear your colors proudly. Be who you are. You are so much more than your struggle. So don't let it defeat or define you. You are stronger than your struggle, my warriors. Peace and love.